Hello, family and friends. It's really nice out here today, and truly have some signs of. Hello, family and friends.
Hello.
Today we have a plant haul, and we're truly seeing signs of spring. It's been kind of warm out, a little breezy, and every once in a while we get a streak of cool air, but it's very nice for the most part. We have creeping Jenny out here, hostas, and look at the variegation on this hosta. How could you not like that? That is absolutely beautiful. And we have a lot of different hostas around the tree out front. We have some dipladenias we're going to be putting in. And today, basically, we're just going to be looking at and talking about some flowers and plants. Hope you enjoy. We had some creeping phlox come back in this pot in the backyard, and I really wasn't expecting this. And along with them coming back, they came back vibrant and a deep pink, much more vibrant than these are here on the street. But they're the same plant, but the ones in the backyard are, wow, I guess I would say hot pink. And I'm gonna miss some of those fall colors from those maple trees, and we're changing the signs from fall signs to spring signs, and it's a sign of spring. I miss the way that the plants we put by these posts, how they came back. These are pictures from last year. This is yesterday here around the bird bath in the backyard, the Stelladors. I am really looking forward to seeing how these come back. This is the biggest that they've been. This is how they looked last year. So they bloom once it gets hot. You know, some people confuse the daffodils with them, but entirely different plant. We've been looking at pots for different friends, and we're taking the color of the houses, the shutters, different lawn furniture, taking those things into consideration when deciding a pot. We have the dragonfly chime out here with the dianthus. Love the spiky green foliage with the bluish green, and the dipladenia. We're going to be putting one of these in several pots. It works fine as a standalone plant in this size pot. We also have a Dusty Miller in here. I guess it's a dragon wing Dusty Miller from last year. Made it through the winter, and look at the buds on this thing ready to just open up. This is another pot where we're putting one. See, in this pot, we could put some things around it, but we may just keep it as a standalone. And once those pansies burn out, there might not be anything else in this pot with that dipladenia. I mean, they're a showy plant and they do fine all by themselves. Look at that color and that yellow center there. And the film here is not really doing it any justice. We're gonna put one in this pot. Got a little crispy um, creeping Jenny from last year, and they're coming back. Now, I don't think this middle pot had any creeping Jenny at all, and we may have just had creeping Jenny on both corners of this fire pit, which needs work. Um, these leaves out here on the outside are covering up the elephant ears, and in this pot we have some pansies that are still hanging on, which will be changed out with something else. And once we get consistent warm temperatures overnight, these will be gone. But we can enjoy looking at them one last time. The Creeping Jenny. We have two size pots. We have the big quart. I guess this is the 2 quart pot. with the Goldilocks. And we have the little 4-inch pots here, and they'll trail just as fast. And the reason for the two different sizes is that the small ones, we'll be putting those in a pot with an evergreen in the middle, and they're the right size to go all the way around without any root competition. I have the azalea here, and this is a nice color, the Elijah Lee, which is I guess that's fuchsia. Is that fuchsia or magenta?
Elsie
I'd say
Lee.
fuchsia. Purple. Okay, it's purple. And the hosta, look at that. Variegated. See, we looked for one that had 3 in it and found it. And we're just going to grow it as one plant so it'll be nice and full and we get that instant impact. So, first of all, we're going to clean up around this Dusty Miller, this Dragon Wing Dusty Miller, Angel Wing Dusty Miller. And it kind of looks like a lamb's ear. Look how fuzzy it is. I'm going to go in close. Look at that. Millions of hairs, and the more sunlight it gets, the more silvery it looks. And they made it through the winter. I'm not surprised because every Dusty Miller that we have grown has made it through the winter. We usually get the lacy ones that kind of look like tomato tomato foliage. So we're getting everything out of the way that will interfere with those roots growing, and just pop this bad boy right on in. And see, on the corner of the house, this is gonna really be getting some sunlight. For the best performance, these require 4 or more hours of sunlight, water as needed. We usually let the soil dry out between watering. And if you're planting them in a drift, you can space them out 8 to 12 inches apart, and they grow 2 feet to a foot and a half to 2 feet tall. This one is next. We're just going to pop these right on in. And we've been getting some low temperatures like in the mid 30s. But if it seems like we may get some frost, we'll just cover them up with some trash bags because we want them to go ahead and get established so that when the hot temperatures come around, we'll have a nice root network down there to get everything they need. This is nice, easy planting. The soil has been cultivated. We amended some good soil in here, and it's ready. Now this pot here has a few things that she needs to get rid of that were in here from last year. I'm not sure if that was a quarter line or what, but it's got to come out. Dig all the way around and pop that on out. Look at the roots on that. We'll chop at it and get as much soil off of it as possible. And ready to plant. Sorry about my fingers being in the way. I gotta do better with that. Here we go. We're getting another one in, and I'm gonna be so glad to get these watered because I kept putting them in the tool shed. I kept thinking that it was gonna be too cold for them, and the frost and possibility of frost and this and that, but I almost want to say the threat of frost is gone. We're in zone 7, and if it does get down to freezing, it's not going to stay in that low temperature for too long. I hope not. I mean, I can't control the weather, but usually around this time of year, if it does get down to those temperatures, they don't stay that cold for too long. We're going to be watching the weather close because even if they say anything like in the 30s, we're going to cover them up with trash bags, or either little grocery store bags would be fine because I think that's probably about the right size. will grow. Well, yeah, either that or a trash bag. As long as they're covered up without damaging them, they should be fine. So she's getting out all the roots and debris that's in there. Look at the roots on this one. Beautiful. And she's not going to bother messing with those because they're not root bound. Now, when they're root bound, you want to pull them apart at the bottom because they will continue to just grow in a circle if you don't open them up and spread them out. And they're on top of each other, so they won't be able to get the water that's required to, for success with these plants. So these will be getting 4 or more hours of sunlight. Uh, we'll water when the soil is dry. I love that trumpet shape flower with those glossy leaves, and they're fabulous. Beautiful plant, and they do really good in the heat. This mandarin orange lavender hosta is ready to go. Actually, it's 3 of them, but we kept it together so that we have that instant impact of a nice size hosta. The soil has been amended with good garden soil. It's drainable and shady up under here, so that's going to be the ideal conditions for this. These will get 2.5 to 3 feet wide, and actually, that's more than one plant, which I've already said. But in order to get that instant big hosta, we just kept them together. And she's getting this one in place. And there's a lot of other hostas around up under this tree. And once we get this one planted, we're gonna step back, see how it looks, and then go around and look at some of these other hostas. Now we had been working on getting a solid ring of candy tufts around the tree, and we ended up with 2 rings. We ended up with a ring. Well, some seeds blew over next to the tree, so we decided to go ahead and go with 2 rings of candy tuft. Here's some hostas here with white variegation. Here's another hosta with that yellow variegation in the middle with the green border. And see how we have this candy tufts in the middle? We have the 2 rings going. There's some more yellow variegated. And this stalk that you see sticking up, that's a Big Daddy. That's one of the biggest hostas that we've ever grown. There's another one. So they're pretty much coming up everywhere that we planted them last year. And it's going to look really nice with the 2 drifts of candy tuft with the small ring next to the tree with the tulips. And there's an outside ring going around the border of the bed. There it is, filling in that one space that we didn't have filled in last year with that nice variegation. That's going to look nice when you come out the front door. That's one of the first things that you'll see. Then we have the yellow fountain grass. Fountain grass going around the outside of the border. Let's go in close, take a look. Look at these little spiky little fountain grasses spaced out. They will get bigger, but they won't spread. They'll stay in clumps just like that. So we'll have those spaced out all the way around the perimeter. They look really nice next to that green grass with an amazing contrast. Look at that. It just really stands out without taking over the bed. Plus, they stay lower than the other plants so that they're not hiding anything. Now, these creeping Jenny will get long and they'll hang down and trail off of these pots. Look at that. And they move in the wind too. Can't wait to use those. We have 3 of them, and gonna be putting those in these pots up on the fence. And There'll be standalone plants. So each one of those pots will have its own plant with nothing else in it. And it's going to look good because they'll hang down. Thanks for watching.